if you take your club and just practice this at home, take your club, put it across your belt line like so, okay? Stand straight up and down. Initially when you do this, don't bend the knees. Don't do that too early. All I want you to do is that where the club is, I want you to tilt forward, okay? The first thing you're going to feel is you're going to feel like your backside is going back behind you, okay? That's moving your center of gravity in your feet from the balls of your feet to somewhere between the balls of your feet and your arches. Hey golfers, Tony McMullen, the founder of Smart Golf Academy here. Today, we're going to talk about stability equals ability, okay? For those of you who hit the ball and you don't hit it very consistently, I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say, again, speaking in generalities, I'm going to say that a lot of you don't have a lot of stability in your setup, and there are a couple of other areas that I'm going to help you with that we can put that stability into, and it's going to eventually help you to hit the ball a lot more consistently, directionally and distance-wise, and it's going to help you to really score better as well, okay? So 3 areas we're going to touch on today in stability that's going to help you with your ability. Before I get to those very quickly, we would love it if you give us a like and possibly a subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribing. Once a week, we put out great videos, great content that's going to really help you with your game, help you to perform better and enjoy the game more. If you subscribe to the channel, of course, it's going to give you a notification every time we put those out. One of those videos might just be the one that's the key to helping you get to the next level and to achieve your goals, whatever that is. So we'd love it if you give us an opportunity to do that. Now, stability and ability, how one can build the other one, okay? 3 points. Number 1, in your setup, most people who have played other sports, when they come to golf, because it is a sport, have it in their mind that they want to set up the same way they would in any other sport. And for most athletes, they understand that they want to get up on the balls of their feet, okay? That's not a bad thing for golf, but it has to be used correctly. In your setup, the balls of your feet really, they're not the major place or major factor that you want in your setup. You want to have a good connection to the ground, okay? This club has weight to it, so when I swing it, it's going to tend to want to pull me out over my toes, okay? Especially if you swing at 70, 80, 90 miles an hour. That's going to have some centrifugal force, angular force, however you want to look at it, but it's going to have a pulling factor. It's going to influence you to get out over this direction here, okay? It's awfully hard to swing the club in this direction, out here, going there, when I'm trying to subconsciously kind of pull myself back so I don't fall forward. That creates issues in standing up early. You're vertically moving early before you should. It creates problems with turning, and it's just not good for your swing. So it doesn't promote consistency. So I'm going to give you just a simple thing in your setup that I think is going to help you, okay? If you take your club and just practice this at home, take your club, put it across your belt line like so, okay? Stand straight up and down. Initially when you do this, don't bend the knees. Don't do that too early. All I want you to do is that where the club is, I want you to tilt forward, okay? The first thing you're going to feel is you're going to feel like your backside is going back behind you, okay? That's moving your center of gravity in your feet from the balls of your feet to somewhere between the balls of your feet and your arches, okay? That is a much more stable point to start from when you go to swing because you have a better connection to the ground. Now, because you've moved that center of gravity back a little bit this direction, when you go to swing, you don't have so much of a pull influence to get you out over the golf ball. If you can stay more stable this direction here when you're swinging a club, you're going to be able to swing the club more consistently, more on plane, more on path, okay? So let's get a good connection to the ground simply by don't bend the knees initially, tilt forward, chest goes down, butt goes back, then just slight flex in those knees, just a little bit. Don't get yourself in a position where your knees are way out over your toes. Just let your legs act as a shock absorber. So as you tilt forward, okay, once you're ready to hit golf balls, clubs in front of you, tilt, slightly flex the knees, and you'll notice everything posture-wise stays right where it should be, okay? So that's your setup. The second point, this one's fairly quick. Most people, when they shoot the laser and they have a number in their mind for a shot, a given shot, 150 yards, 140 yards, you name it, whatever. somewhere in the back of their mind, they may think, I don't really have that yardage, okay? Most cases, if you look at statistics going into a green, the amateurs, weekend golfers, if you will, tend to miss more short of the green than they do left, right, or long. Okay, your better players, your lower handicap players tend to miss. They're usually pin high when they miss, but if they miss beyond that, they're generally long because they take enough club. Okay, I call it the panic stroke. So you're standing over the ball, and in the back of your mind, you're thinking, "Wow, I need to jump on this to get it there." So they end up swinging faster. When you swing faster, you start to lose control. You lose that stability in your swing. When you start swinging faster, you're not able to keep the club on line. Your swing path really gets out of control, and most times you're not on plane. Here's what I would say. Initially, as you're learning to deal with this issue, if you were going to hit a 7-iron, hit a 6. You can always choke down on it just a little bit if you feel like you've got way too much club. But let's make a swing that's in our wheelhouse, that's kind of more our tempo, and let's hit the ball. What you're going to find there is you're going to hit the ball a lot more in the center of the club face. You're going to get a better ball flight. You're going to hit the ball straighter, and you're going to have more consistency. So instead of swinging so fast and so hard, let's take an extra club and let's slow down a little bit, and let's make sure that we're swinging in control. Okay. I think I've heard it before, 80%. Generally, that's what I tell most of my players when I teach. I say, let's make our full swings at 80%. That way we got a little bit left in the tank if we need it, but 80% is a nice consistent tempo for us, okay? So now we've got stability in our setup. We've got a little bit more of a controllable golf swing, and the last point is finish in balance, okay? Now this is one that's, again, it's fairly easy, but when you make your practice swing, so I got a good setup, I'm stable, I'm going to swing at a good speed that's manageable and controllable for me, and then when I swing through, I'm going to practice holding this for a few seconds because I'm in balance. So when I swing, I'm able to hit the ball and I'm in control. And what you're going to find is actually by working on that balance, it's going to help you, again, in a number of areas. You're going to have a more consistent swing path. Your plane's going to be better. You're not trying to overhit it. You're not putting a lot of side spin on the ball. It's just a good drill and a good sense that you're trying to create of balance, okay? So now we have a better setup. We're swinging at a speed we can manage, and we're getting to a nice full balance. The more shots we hit that way, the better it's going to get for us, the more comfortable we're going to get with it. So those three things, incorporate those into your game. That is, stability is going to help your ability. We've made you more stable in those three areas, in your setup, swing speed, and balance. And that's going to make you to play better golf and enjoy the game more. For more tips like these, I'd love it if you go to smartgolfacademy.org, the online academy. Check out the videos on there. They are going to make you a better player.